So hello everyone, welcome back to Wildcats Attack. I have here with me Mr. Lam Drang, CEO of Wisepass. And Lam, can you introduce a bit about yourself? I have heard that you actually have your education in France and you decided to go back to Vietnam and start your own business. So what makes you decide that you will pursue your dream and start your own business?
Sure. Um, it is very simple, actually. I follow a principle where I set like a goal or purpose for 10 years. And every 10 years, basically, I just reset it. And then I'll just decide what I'm going to do. And that's pretty much of it. Let's say like in my 20s. So I was born in France. I was raised over there. I went to school like everybody else. Then I went to the university, got into the business school. But the point at that time is actually when you're in your early 20s, like what do you do? And one of the things like a lot of people were talking about is actually traveling all around the world.
Yeah.
And what I decided was pretty simple. I was just saying, okay, for my 20s, 20 to 30, I'll go around the world and live at least 6 months in each country, or up to, let's see, well, 1 or 2 years. And that's what I did in my 20s. So I went to New York and live in the US. I went to Western Africa and live in Ghana and Benin. I went to Vietnam. I went to Denmark. I went to Korea for my MBA. So I went to many countries around. So back to the question of how did I pursue this business in Vietnam? Was pretty simple. After my 10 years doing all around the world, I came to my 30s. So again, I had to reset the purpose for 10 years and think about like, okay, so international is done. What am I going to do next? And I ended up choosing Vietnam to fly back and do something big, build something big. At that time, I didn't know it would be Wisepass. I just knew that it's going to be Vietnam. It has to be big or interesting enough because I realized I enjoy learning all the time. And this is when I started my journey, and this is how I started my 30s. I founded the company in 2014. I was born in 84. So literally like my early 30. And it was all about like, what's going to be the next thing that's going to take all my attention for at least 10 years. And when I found out that the problem I'm trying to solve is very interesting, and that's going to make me wake up every day in the morning and actually give me the energy just to go full force on this problem, then I decided just to go for it. So that's pretty much my thought process.
Actually, for many of the Vietnamese students who are actually studying overseas, we all have this dream or this vision of like bringing a new technology that is already present in the overseas country and bring it back to Vietnam and like make it happen there. So, will you have any advice for those who want to do such things? Or like, is there any tips or like like just tricks or how-tos on how to actually like bring a new technology back to Vietnam, like with all the knowledge that you have, how do you establish like a team and stuff like that?
Well, the thing is, like, if you want to do so, I think it's a great idea, but you got to make sure that you don't fall into the trap of here's a business outside, it's working. And then let's bring that back to Vietnam because it's likely to work because like it's working already overseas. Example would be Amazon. Tiki has been doing this. They're selling books, retail. Now they're selling everything. Tiki is doing the same thing today. They're selling everything. It might be difficult because like the business of Tiki mimicking Amazon is going to be not 100% a copy paste because they need to be bigger than that. They need to have like several business lines. And the trap is you're going to require so much money and actually teams and actually expansion and build more business lines just to be like Amazon.com, right?
Yeah.
So got to make sure like, yes, there's a business outside that you can bring back, but then copy pasting is not that straightforward line that you can replicate within the next 12 months.
Yeah.
It's going to require you just to think deeper, localize more, think about all the different things you may need just to make it work. And even though it seems simple because the concept and the idea is clear overseas, well, sometimes it doesn't work. There's a case study in 10 years ago, food delivery. And there was a company called Food Panda in Vietnam.
Yeah.
They were set up, and then food delivery, right? There's nothing crazy about it. Just order and you get the stuff. But then it didn't work because like they couldn't make it work because like the locals were not really keen at that time just to do food delivery, and the amount of investment for them wasn't actually big enough. Thailand is actually has Food Panda. It was across Southeast Asia, but for some reasons Vietnam wasn't a great market, and Thailand is. But the funny and the big irony today you can see is everyone is all about food delivery today.
Yeah.
Grab or Gojek, whatever. Like you have a lot of apps right now doing this. It's pretty crazy. So if you want to bring, so now to the question, like if you want to bring back like a concept, gotta make sure like to look beyond the fact that it's working overseas, and then there's gonna be a little hard work. It's a trap, and then there's usually a lot of work, and making sure that you have a set of purpose on diving into one idea, and to make sure like this is going to be something you're going to be dedicated and committed. It's going to be more important than just it's working outside, let's do this here.
Yeah.
It's actually looking at the iceberg, and then you just see the top, and then you don't realize all the stuff below, and then you're like, oh shit, oh, there's a lot. And then most of the time a lot of people would give up because they realize, okay, I don't want to go through all this, I just want to have an easy life and all that. That's fine. But then if you're not prepared for this, then usually you shouldn't just do that. That's my take on that question. I mean, like in terms of technology, like if there's something that you're already comfortable with, you know how it works, you have some network, and you have like some connections in Vietnam where you think you can or you are able to sell, then that's going to make it or you have higher chances to make it work. And this is pretty much like how I see it. So for the Gen Z, there are still so many opportunities around the world. And then what I see is a lot of influencers. There was just another live stream that was done last week. Try to see like what's going to work, and see like if you can do this by yourself. And then to some extent, like if you need more help, then that's fine. But then make sure like you can do it by yourself, at least for the first 6 to 12 months. So you have value, and then people will recognize that. And then eventually a lot of people will come and try to partner with you.
Now we will be entering to the most exciting part of Wildcats Attack, the attack part. For the first question we would like to attack Alam with is that, what is your favorite subject in school? And what is the subject that you score the highest?
It's very simple. It's English language. So I enjoy learning new language. I enjoy looking at how it works, basically. It's very funny, like each language has words and vocabulary, but it's more about like the way you say it, the way you're going to express yourself, and the way you're going to feel those words when you say it to another human being that will speak the same language like you.
So, Alam, I have prepared a new set of truth or dare. So you will be taken totally by surprise. So, truth or dare?
I would say truth.
Why not dare? I think dare is more fun. Would you want to go for dare instead?
Wow, that depends. That depends. Trust me, that really depends on on that. So,
what is the top 3 favorite restaurants or brands that you have ever collaborated on Wisepass?
One of them is Singha.
Oh,
It's a beer brand from Thailand, and it's very funny because like I never thought I would do beer, and then it came to my face, and then it actually changed the whole entire business. So to me, I was like, oh wow, okay. And then I was actually rejecting BLI in 2016, 17, 18, and in 2019. When I started to meet the brand, I was like, oh, okay, let's just do that. And I had very little expectations, and then it blew up my mind. So that is one brand. Another example, I'd say, aside from that, I would be keen to share a story with Starbucks.
Oh,
So yeah, we were with Starbucks mostly because I basically tried to work with Starbucks for years, and then I got rejected in 2014, 15, 16 until 17. So this is when I realized, okay, so I can work with you guys now, and this is how it's going to work. And then it took years just to be rejected and eventually get accepted. And then the partnership is actually something I'm one of the partnership I was mostly proud of. It lasted a couple of years, and that's great. And a lot of people have noticed that, and then and the respect, because it's extremely hard to work with them. So that's the second. And eventually what I can share with is the Merit group. Basically, like we usually work with some locations, right? And then at that time, it was really, really super difficult because you had to go and talk to people one after the other, and you and you and you and you. And then we started to expand in Thailand, and then we met those guys, and then that one guy started to talk to all the other guys in Bangkok, and we started just to connect with all the Marriott hotels. I was like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I don't have to talk to like one guy and convince one after the other. So, and that's actually one of the things I must. So I wish I can fly back to Thailand and do all those things again, but now we have like the pandemic going on. But and those places are awesome. So as a consumer, I personally like it because of rooftops in Bangkok. I just you gotta fly there.
yeah.
And then you're gonna go and do one by one. Just get a drink over there, and you'll see like how amazing that is. And I can go on forever, by the way. So, but yeah, so that would be like 3 brands.
I think one thing I can see is that you never give up, even after like multiple rejections from Starbucks. What keeps you going? Why Starbucks? Why you yearn for Starbucks so much?
Have you ever been in love, true love, passionate love?
Maybe I have.
Okay, so maybe you have. So let's say when you are, or when I am, so it's maybe personal. So some people will maybe feel the same. When I fall in love with something, I just don't give up. And everything is in. It's not about like, oh, that's you're just annoying. I'm just not. No, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna go somewhere else and find another girlfriend because I don't want to wash the dishes, right? This is not. It's not working like that. Like, even if it's frustrating, even though like it makes you crazy, you just want to be with this person. You just want to succeed, and yeah, you want to be deeply connected with this lover. That's pretty much the same, I guess, with Wisepass. Like, I am fully committed on working and making it successful, no matter what the cost and no matter how much pain I may go through. Or actually, in this like this concept in physics where like you just punch, but then it comes back to the initial form or shape. In this case, like when I face adversity, each failure or each let's say each failure helps me just to keep improving. And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship and resilience. Like, you'll fail actually most of the time. So if your ability is to keep growing and improving over and over, failure after failure, then this is going to make you very successful.
Thank you so much for your sharing, Anlam. So that actually concludes our attack part. So now we will be moving on to the inspiring part where we talk more about like the new normal after COVID and what will be happening in the F&B industry. Yeah. So the first question that I actually have for you is that what is the one thing in the industry that you think will never be the same anymore for the food and beverage industry?
I'd say that a lot of brands right now, like they are been relying on those restaurants and bars and hotels as like a great sales channel.
Yeah.
And they never considered maybe like, or at least seriously, that online delivery was a thing. It was like, okay, that's just a little thing on the side. Let's just do that. Until actually the pandemic hit. And I can see right now, let's say, okay, Vinamilk. Vinamilk has their own website, their own stores, and then you can order from them directly. So they created a whole entire sales channels where people, if they need milk, they can just go there and order, and that's it. It's pretty crazy because usually they're used to supermarkets and just
Yeah.
sell it around, and that's it. And I believe that e-commerce basically it was actually growing anyway, but then it got reinforced by the pandemic. And that's very likely what's going to happen for the F&B industry. Like if you're talking about those stakeholders such as like restaurants, bars. I mean, I would say restaurant first because bars is another thing. I got very surprised about a thing that I would never believe. Like I saw the Park Hyatt on Grab.
Sorry,
I
what?
was like, what? The Park Hyatt, which is a 5-star hotel.
Oh, Park Hyatt. Oh,
And yeah,
yeah, I got it.
and these guys are actually selling their tiramisu on Grab. I was like, why would that's I was like, oh wow, so that you guys ready just to sell? I mean, like they don't have any choice, right?
Can you try
There's
it?
zero revenue. Nope, sorry, I'm not a tiramisu guy first. But I was just like interested about like scrolling, and I just realized like even the Pahaya right now is on Grab. That shows like how crazy that went. The things that will definitely change after the pandemic is if you're a restaurant, if you're a hotel, yeah, so you're selling online and you deliver. It's not like maybe no, we just like a place where people come over our place and buy. No, we sell online, we're happy to deliver, and we have all those delivering platforms that can enable us just to sell.
How would you think with the introduction of like these technology, what do you think can be incorporated to the F&B industry in Vietnam? Like what would you want to see more of these such technology or even newer technology for the F&B industry in Vietnam?
So usually I would ask the following question, like what do you get today and what would be cool to have?
Mm.
So what you have today is you get like food reviews website. Okay, you just get there, you see the reviews, and then based on the reviews, you take your chance and you get there, and then you have some food and you go with some friends. What would be cool is actually you don't actually get into food reviews. You just open up an app where all the reviews are incorporated and personalized for you based on location, time,
Mm.
and what the community has been actually reviewed before you. Let's say like, and especially for Vietnam, but let's say you're in Vietnam today, but let's say you're flying to Paris. I don't know anything about, I mean, I know things about Paris, but it's in my mind and my experience from Paris is pretty limited. It would be totally different. And that would be pretty cool if you just land, open up the app, and see tonight I'm gonna get hair because a lot of people have the same profile like me and they are in Paris. And it's very likely that if I go there tonight, I'm just gonna have a great time and enjoy, which is back to art de vivre, which is like
Lifestyle.
having a good time, basically. Yeah,
Mhm.
lifestyle, enjoying, and all this kind of thing. Then tech is taking care of that part where we're taking the brains and the experiences of people and transforming them into data, useful data, and then we just inject that back on the app. So whenever you just tap open, it shows like where should I go tonight,
Mm.
and for a drink, for eating, for whatever that is. So you're not really going and swiping to all the reviews and actually read the content and read like all the 100 comments and reviews from people. This just where should it go? Like give me like a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just take a look at the pictures, pam pam pam, and off you go. That would be like the best experience. So that's the same for Vietnam, right? You just fly in Ho Chi Minh, but you might be from the south, but then you fly into the north, you have no idea about like the good places aside maybe from a few things, but usually it's going to be recommendations from your friends, and you're going to be like, hey, you got to go there, and then you go there. But then that's human, which is great. It's a human recommendation. What about like you get like not your friend, but 10,000 people that actually have gone around the city already, and actually you can source that automatically, and for you as a user can actually know better where to go. So those are high risk and they're high reward if there's a small amount of people, but as you grow the amount of data with millions of people, then you usually get the right recommendation. So it's all about like data mining, but at the end of the day, it's very simple. It's called recommendation.
Yeah.
And then you go or not. But then the issue is about, it's not about going or not. It's about like registering your going over there with Wisepass. But then usually what we have to do is to see like if this person is coming back or not. And those are like signals. It's called a repeat visit.
Yeah.
So if somebody else is coming back over and over and over and over, usually it's a good signal. And then if it's done by not one person, but by more than, let's say, a couple thousand people, okay, so I guess like that place, location-wise, at this address, whatever that is good. And then we look at the profile of all those users and then see like this person is what kind of person. But then this is when you dive in data, which is called like machine learning, and then they look at patterns and understand like this is maybe female driven or more like male driven or this and this driven and so on. Yeah.
The nature of the food and beverage industry in Vietnam mainly consists of like, street vendors or very small like household household restaurants. So what is the one thing that the youth or the Gen Z in Vietnam with like all the knowledge of like all this technology, what can we actually do to help this group of like, street vendors or like small restaurants? Yeah.
I'd say usually like you get the little steps where as a small business, it's really like a street food, right? It's really about like if you want to actually leverage technology for your business and increase your sales, say that. So the best way right now is just to go with like all those e-wallets and Momo in Vietnam or GrabPay or Shopee Pay or whatever Pay. So these guys technologically are investing so much money just to build a user base. And usually the user base is young and willing to try and adopt new ways of payments. Like in this case, like payment. And those guys in the street vendors, they just have to stick this QR code and then say that's $1 or $2. And then they'll just receive the money, right? So that's number one. Say how just to get paid, but with like different payment methods. So aside from cash,
Yeah.
consumer behavior will change. E-wallet, cashless payment. That's one. So number two is actually a lot of people love their foods. It's just like it's not convenient for them just to bring it to come over. So it's really back to the simple thing, food delivery technology. Get on as many platforms as possible, so a lot of people will be able to reach you and actually make a booking. It doesn't cost any money until like there's a transaction.
Yeah.
So your cost of actually setting up your self and your business on those platforms is pretty much zero until they charge you a commission, and that's going to be whatever that is. I guess like aside from that, like those like small things you can do is really all about like, let's say TikTok now, Gen Z, right? Anyway, so TikTok is perfect. Definitely if you you want to use like a tech platform, rich Gen Z, TikTok is the best.
Yeah.
So, and it's not going to be about like crazy stuff about like investing millions of dollars. It's just like taking a simple video of with your smartphone and just showing like the food that you are selling.
Yeah.
Then if you are very good at it, you can make it more interesting with some stories. But sometimes it's just about like, that's the stuff. And here's like a 10-15 second video of bún riêu.
Yeah.
It's not crazy, but then actually how the food's going to look and how delicious it's going to be, and the reaction that the people are enjoying it is going to be the best marketing tool. So yeah, those are the three things I would.
Let's say TikTok and content creation skills in general for the Gen Z. What are some of the other skill sets that you think Gen Zs or like the youth in Vietnam are already equipped with, and that they can actually use to help themselves in the industry as a career in the F&B industry?
And actually, to be honest, like it's a whole economy today where getting a lot of followers is about getting a large reach, and they're tuned to that. Like this Gen Z is actually able just to understand the concept quickly and understand the impact or the influence they have by building such a large user base following you, and then spread the word out. At the end, it's marketing, and I'm in marketing, but my environment 15 years ago and the way I was taught to do all this hasn't been like this, because there was no such thing before. All when I say all this, but even though I'm doing all those things right now, but Gen Z is equipped and they understand this kind of thing. Social media is actually a big thing, billions of users around the world, and they should invest their time and understand that how big that is, and actually help the older generations to understand that. I just posted on Monday an article of I'm content marketing, so it was not about selling services, it was not promotional, it's just a blog and on Wisepass, but it was a question. The question was, when will Vietnam open borders? And so what we did was just to take a look at the metrics. So that's my my major in the business school, which is strategy, which is like how to go from A to B. And we answer the questions by looking at the vaccination rate and looking at the procurement of the vaccine and how many people are getting vaccinated in the country, and break down by city and so on and so on. Eventually, we have to answer like, when will they open? And then we break down the questions again and say like, okay, actually next quarter Phu Quoc is going to open because it just happened a couple of days ago by the Prime Minister. And then when will it reopen fully, not just Phu Quoc? Then it's likely they're going to reopen by, let's say, early 2022, because like all the other countries are doing the same, and they're using government policy, which is called living with COVID rather than zero COVID. And we posted on social media. And that's crazy. It just blew up. Like more than 3,000 people just started to click on that and commented. Like I had to handle all this on Tuesday morning. It's crazy. It's still going on, by the way. Like people are having their own emotions in it. Some people liked it. Some people said it's never going to happen. We're going to all die. Some people would say, yeah, it's pretty likely. And it's great that social media can gather a lot of people effectively and discuss a topic. Maybe sometimes all over the place, but at least like it's very effective to spread the word out. It has a great upside and very big downside, but it's really all about like how you use social media and how you can control social media rather than you being controlled by this by scrolling the news feed all the time and obsessively and going on stories. Now you actually create the content, you spread it out, you work on that, and the world will react to it or not. But at least like this is a way for you just to spread the word out more cost effectively today.
Right. Thank you so much, Alan, for all your sharing in today's session. We have come to the end of our Wildcats Attack episode. I think I truly enjoy myself. I do learn a lot more about, the F&B and the new normal, and what Gen Z can actually do to prepare themselves, and also, to go head on in this situation after the pandemic. So thank you so much once again for your time with us.
Thanks for inviting in. Okay,
Yeah.
bye-bye.